He's doing well, so we'll keep him in there. Whatever happens, we know that the ready squad will be ready to go. But I do want to make sure that we have time to get to this upcoming game. But before we do that, we have to make sure we tell you about our awesome sponsor for this season, the Sleeper app. So check out this quick video.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Yeah, we're so excited to have them with us this season. And if you're into sports as much as we are, make sure you check it out because it offers it all. Live scores, news alerts, stats, real-time chats. You can win real money. So check out the #1 sports app today. Try it out for yourself. Use promo code HMA and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out the Sleeper app today. I was watching TV the other day and I wasn't looking up and I heard the Sleeper commercial come on and immediately I was like, whoa, am I on the Seahawks Collective? Like, did I accidentally click the live stream, go live, Annabelle? And had a moment of panic, but no, we were just excited to hear our Sleeper app friends. So check it out. We're super excited to have them with us this season. But let's get to this game because we are excited that the Seahawks signed away the Vikings quarterback and that we now have him on our roster. But on the other side, the Minnesota Vikings will be without J.J. McCarthy because he is in concussion protocol. Looks like Max Brosmer will get the start. So just for you, Mike, what should Seahawks fans know about this quarterback?
Yeah. Actually, what was I gonna say? Quandre, real quick. It will take a lot of run the defense. That said, the Titans do run the same defense as the Seahawks, so that should help. Now he's been in that for 2 years. Their defensive coordinator Denard Wilson, I believe, was the Ravens DB coach. So they're one of those teams, just like the Chargers, the Dolphins, that run the same scheme. So that should help. Just like Ernest picked it up, so that should be cool. I'm happy for Quandre. I got some short jokes ready for him when I see him on Wednesday. But yeah, we just interviewed my colleague at The Athletic, Alec Lewis, who covers the Vikings. We talked about Mac. I think it's Brosmer, actually. It's weird. Anyway, they are like, the way Alec talked about him, it sounded like they got like a Brock Purdy, Trey Lance situation going on over there where people in the building are like, yeah, I mean, we spent the 10th pick on this dude, but this other guy, is really good, can sling it, makes the right reads. I mean, we'll see. It all sounds good, but it seems like even in training camp, you go look back in some of Alec's old stories, he's talking him up. He's got quotes on the record from people inside the building, scouts and stuff that are like, yeah, no, Max can play. So we'll see. I mean, I looked up some JJ stats for our interview with Alec. Oh my God. Like, it's hard to be worse than what JJ is right now. So, I mean, maybe this guy is better. JJ is completing 54% of his passes. True Media has a stat that I really like. It's called splint percentage, which is sacks and interceptions per dropback. I like sacks being in there because for some reason everyone just uses touchdown interception ratio as if an interception is the only bad thing that can happen if you drop back to pass, right? You can fumble it or take a sack. So I like sacks being in there too. Those are negative plays. JJ leads the league in splint percentage. So when he drops back, something bad happens pretty much more than anybody in the league. He also leads the league in turnover rate. Sam's second, actually. So like the Vikings might quietly be upgrading at quarterback because their guy is in the concussion protocol. It's a very weird situation. I still think the Seahawks should win, but I'm now intrigued by this Brosmer guy. Because of what I've read about him in the last, 10 hours or so.
Sometimes what you don't know can be dangerous, right? But Brian, I'd love to just ask you about the Seahawks quarterback because anytime you play a former team, it's different, right? There's a different sense for you and obviously on the outside. But what do you think the demeanor of Sam Darnold will be headed into this game on Sunday?
He's pretty much the same guy every single play, every single week, and I don't think that'll change. He knows he's going to get those questions. I think he also knows that Brian Flores is going to be blitzing the ever-living daylights out of him, and that's just how that team plays. So, this is going to be a good test of some of the the better habits he's trying to lean on, which is especially going through his progressions, hitting the dump off, not always trying to press the ball down the field. There was one play in particular in this game where he, was under pressure, and instead of just eating it and taking a sack or throwing it away earlier, he tried to get it downfield, and it went directly to a Titans player. And that's a play you honestly cannot make. Even if it's a rapid pressure, he just cannot make that decision. I think there's going to be a lot of those choices in this game for him. I think that's going to be a key part of it. One little number, like just give you an idea of how much the Vikings blitz. I was looking this up. They blitz since their week 6 bye. They blitz on over 53% of their plays when they're in too high shell, which is more than double the next closest team. Like, teams don't blitz out of that coverage as much as anywhere near as much as the Vikings do. So there's gonna be a lot of pressure for him to both assess and then deal with. And here's the good news. If you want the Seahawks to really be a Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold's got to face this demon and, figure out ways to conquer it. And that can be handing the ball off. It can be throwing the ball away. It can be getting sacked instead of turning. Like, there's a lot of ways he can get through it. But he's going to need as many reps and build as much muscle memory against this problem as he can. Vikings are going to give him a good chance to do that. The Falcons are also a heavy blitz, heavy pressure team. There's going to be some opportunities for him to build the right muscle memory. I know a lot of people are betting that he won't. I'm curious if he will. So I think that's the story of this game for me.
Yeah, Rob, obviously a lot of people before the season thought this Vikings team could be a Super Bowl contender. Obviously different quarterback, but certainly not the season that they had thought for themselves probably. But what do you fear most about this game on Sunday?
Well, I actually watched 11 games of Max Brosma last year, and I think he is a good player. I mean, like, physically, he was never going to be a high draft pick because he just doesn't have the arm strength. And sort of the typical tools that teams would draft for the upside. But as soon as he was with the Vikings, he was somebody that I wanted to watch during preseason, and I did watch some of that preseason football, and it's the perfect fit. It was always going to be the perfect fit if he ended up with one of the Shanahan or McVay guys, and he has in fact done that. I'm not surprised that he's looked sharp. It's not to say that he's going to come to Seattle against the Seahawks defense and have a great game in his first NFL start. I think the chances are that that won't happen. But he's technically very, very good. He can get the ball on a mid-range, play action. He was very good. He was one of the few quarterbacks who actually took snaps under center last year. So he's not totally foreign to sort of an NFL style. Red zone was good, and he can be quite creative. Like, he's not sort of a dynamic improvising quarterback, but he could move, get away from pressure, throw on the run. So he could be one of those quarterbacks who is just annoyingly elusive and still making plays this weekend. And as soon as I did actually sigh a little bit when it was announced that JJ McCarthy was not going to play, because I quite fancy playing him and not Max Brosma. So I'm worried about that a bit. I'm also worried about Julian Love, because my sort of instant reaction to this Quandre Diggs news was, well, why are they signing him? Is it just because Tyo Carter is going to be hurt and they want a bit of extra depth there, and he's willing to come and be on the practice squad if they need him and they can have a look at him, And then sort of part of me worries a little bit because what Brian was saying about Julian Love, and I really want Julian Love to be on the field on Sunday and then every game for the rest of the season. And I also have to say, and this is probably, it's really bad form of me to bring this up with just a couple of minutes to go, but I wasn't a big fan of the news today. I kind of don't really like it when the Seahawks just bring these older guys back. The Seahawks seem to be amongst the league leaders in sentimentality and bringing the guys back. I'm half expecting Luke Wilson to sign a contract this week. I don't know. I kind of feel like we'd moved on from that era, and now we're back at it again. Not fully, obviously, but I'm just
Oh, Rob, it seems like you have a lot of things that you really want or don't want. So why don't you can write a letter, maybe send it in, maybe see if they would take your advice. But we appreciate the work you're doing for the Seahawks draft blog and scouting all these college players. Like, we would not have known any of that information. And I'm probably sure a lot of other people wouldn't either. So we appreciate you.
I can tell my family it wasn't a waste of time after all.
It's not. Look, he's getting the start against the Seahawks. Big game on Sunday. But that's all we have for you guys tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to check out what Brian, Rob, and Mike have going on all this week. But make sure to tune into the Seahawks game against the Vikings on Sunday. Thanks so much. I'm A.